I just thought tonight I would talk a little bit about the fact that for years, ever since I started and became a filmmaker, I have been told you really ought to make horror films because you can make them for next to nothing and they sell really well. You can always get a distributor. You can always make a lot of money on them. Yeah. No. I am so not interested in horror films. I'm sure I could make a lot of money. I'm sure I could make a hell of a horror film if I put my mind to it. I just don't like it. I don't go to horror films. I don't like the genre. It's not my thing. I'm sure if I studied the genre, really read a lot of the screenplays, watched a lot of the movies, I could get good at writing them. Yuck. It's like, bleh. I don't want to. You know? There's this screenwriting guru in Hollywood who's like, you gotta study the trends. You gotta see what people are buying. You gotta see what's out there. And then, adapt your thing to that. And it's like, I am so not someone who wants to try to study the trend. I am sure there are plenty of interesting ways you could make a horror film. I'm sure there are. I'm just not interested in finding them out. It's just not my thing. I'm just telling you. Right up front, not my thing, not gonna do it. I like making dramas. I did an action film. I like that. That's fun. I like making action. It's fun to do all that stuff. I think, what's the point of doing this if you're not doing what you love? I understand there's some people who just want to cash a paycheck, but then why don't you just go cash a paycheck doing anything? I mean, I could be a legal secretary. My dad was an attorney, and the first job I ever had was being his secretary in the summers when his secretary would go on vacation, okay? I can be a legal secretary any day of the week with one arm tied behind my back and my eyes closed. I could do it. I could do it really well. I type really fast. I don't want to be a legal secretary. I could cash a paycheck doing that. I don't want to do it. I want to do what I love, which is writing and directing and occasionally acting. Those are things I want to do. I understand the advice of figure out what the trends are and maybe kind of go along with that. But you know what? I also have heard that that doesn't necessarily work. There are people out there who are very successful, who would tell you that that is not necessarily the way it works in this business. And I'm going to tell you that I think when you find your voice, your brand, your unique way of expressing yourself, whether that is as an actor, whether that is as a writer, as a director, even as a producer. There are producers who have their own brand, obviously. When you find what your thing is and you hone that to a fine edge and you do it really well, people will find you. People will find you. You will have fans. The people who like what you do will find you and become your fans, and you will get support for doing what it is that you do, that you're really good at, that you were put on this earth to do. And I firmly believe that, and I think that you should follow your heart and do the thing that gives you joy, that makes you want to get up in the morning. You can't wait to get up and do that thing that you love to do and do well.